So some social implications of the Anthropocene. If we're to think through the Anthropocene as an opportunity for critical social research, perhaps it's worth radicalizing this idea of the post-natural. Perhaps we need to think as deeply and take as seriously as possible what a post-natural ontological way of knowing could mean, could be practiced, could be understood. It highlights the social diversity and difference in the sense that rather than ascribing all zoe, all bios to anthropos, right, that there might be multiple anthropi, you could think of that in terms of that, perhaps. And it also, most folks are saying, because the Anthropocene in the science literature has been understood as post-political or unpolitical, we actually, in critical social research, need to reintroduce the political to the Anthropocene. If we can accept Anthropocene as not just our geologic era, but perhaps our social era as well. Here is when I'd like to take a little sidestep into neoliberalism, which, although terribly popular, is still very dangerous to try to talk about, which is why I'll refer back to my text here. So in here, I am fashioning my neoliberal understandings in the Foucauldian fantasies of the very real. So I understand neoliberalism as a very particularized form of governmentality, a governmentality of things deployed over and over and over again as the logic and goal of our quote-unquote age of humankind, the Anthropocene, marked by four, and I mean, obviously there's a lot more going on here, but hyper-individualism, hyper-surveillance, economic determinations of productivity, and competitive entrepreneurialism, where we might think of hyper-individualism in terms of the supremacy of the individual and identity over the collective and or subjective. Where hyper-surveillance might be understood as the obsession with all things being known, not just watched, but that we can actually know all things. Documented and signified as knowable through statistics and positively verifiable. Where economic determinations of productivity suggest that only that with value in an economy, only our things that can be configured economically can be understood as productive and desirable. In this sense, if our bodies can't contribute economically, we're not just useless, we are wrong. Competitive entrepreneurialism in this milieu could be seen as on our own we succeed or we fail. And on our own we must succeed against one another or else we fail. And on our own our failure ensures others' success, which reinscribes our failure on our own. Yet when we succeed, our success marks our bodies as innovative, exceptional, and valuable to the marketplace in which we are most suited. As a governmentality, then, neoliberalism transcends the art of governing. It is not a governance structure itself, nor a model for governments. As governmentality, neoliberalism does not organize or operationalize systems of control and political relations. Such a government could conceivably head off crises. Rather, as a governmentality, neoliberalism delineates what Foucault called the conduct of conducts. Neoliberalism makes certain truths possible, certain ways of knowing available, knowable, and ultimately, as my friend and colleague Aaron Kuntz has put it, makes a certain sense of sense. Makes a certain sense of sense commonsensical. So as a governmentality, then neoliberalism builds a circus of possibility by refuting imminent planes of implausibilities.